Calaroga Shark Media.
Oh man, it's so hot. How hot is it, Johnny Mac? It's so hot. Trump is considering changing his catchphrase to "You're fried." It's so hot. I feel like Joe Biden in front of the campaign donors. Sam Morril's got a new special out today. This one is on Amazon. It's called You've Changed, and we're told Sam showcases his unique laid-back style effortlessly, riffing on his experiences about the worst person he's ever dated, the challenges of aging, and takes on various topics from cable news to the dangers of social media. Hannah Berner's got a special out today on Netflix. It's called We Ride at Dawn. She got the big-time profile from Variety, which means her publicists did their job this week, and she's got good agents. She started out in comedy and did 10 minutes of stand-up, which you're not supposed to do in front of 300 people your first time, but ignorance is bliss. At the end of the show, my reality TV friends were like, ooh, that's what you're meant to do. All right, well, do you have any pre-show rituals? Hannah says, I drink the white flavor of Gatorade Zero. Time out. If you're of a certain age, you ever had a colonoscopy? You got to drink the stuff and you drink with Gatorade? Just thinking about the taste of Gatorade Zero right now, no offense, Gatorade Zero company, but when you mix it with the powder that makes you do the thing for the colonoscopy prep, I don't even want to think about it. It's so gross. But Hannah used to drink Gatorade before her tennis matches when she was a tennis player. But I have to drink the white one now because I can't dye my lips blue or stain my outfit. I normally nap beforehand. And then I was listening to a ton of Megan Thee Stallion and Ice Spice. I highly recommend Princess Diana by Ice Spice if you're going through a nervous time in your life. Hannah Berner, how would you describe your sense of humor? Asked the Variators. Anna said, I would describe it as a female locker room where the girls are like, thank God she's saying these things. And the men are like, I actually learned some stuff. I was the goofy friend who was not afraid to say things that other people were nervous to say. How do you memorize an hour of material, Hannah Berner? I actually don't have a good memory. I had to study really hard for tests. Stand-up is kind of like telling a story. You're not going to forget the story. During a whole hour, I viewed it like an album. After this song, we have this song. After this song, we have this song. All right, is there crowd work in the special? Crowd work is fun for me because sometimes I'll get bored if I've been doing shows all week. I'm curious and want to talk to people. I feel like being good at crowd work is knowing what direction to take, regardless of what the audience member gives you. I find that crowd work has made me kind of psychic. I can see a couple sitting together and know they've been together for 8 months, or I'll see a guy and know what he does for a living. I'll be like, you're a finance bro. You're definitely an electrician. You're a lawyer. Every now and then I get something crazy right and the crowd gets freaked out. And I'm like, nah, I do this every night. I can see the little hints. By the way, we're 3 minutes into a podcast and I'm sweating. I'm sitting in a chair talking and I'm sweating. It is so hot today. It's so hot, I feel like Scott Beckett's collar every time Johnny Mac mentions Joe Coy. Hi, Scott. Hope you had a good fourth. Mark Normand has a new documentary for Punch Up Live. We get to see Mark Normand work on a joke from the first time he tried it to having it on its feet at Carnegie Hall. What about the specific joke made you want to chronicle it, Mark Normand? Mark said, well, funny you asked that, because I don't love that joke. It was just a timing thing. We needed a joke that wasn't ready, because that was when I could get the cameraman and everything. So I said, I'm working on a dumb joke about banging animals. And they said, great, let's do it. It's like, I don't even love the joke, but it had to be in a certain time frame, so we had to do it. We did a pilot before this one about a year ago, and that joke I loved. It was my closer in the Netflix half hour. It went viral online too. That one was a better choice, but again, the timing. That one also really struggled in the beginning. It's all genuine. It's real humiliation and real fear you're seeing now on my face. You can't even fathom the fight or flight that's going on in your head during it. Your brain's going 1,000,000 miles a minute in a bad way. You ever consider giving up on the joke, Mark Normand? He says, every single time. Yeah, every fiber in your being is telling you, abort, abort. It's kind of like being up against the ropes in a boxing match, and it's like, all right, I just want to crumble into a little ball, wait till the round's over. But you can't do it. You just got to stand up there and keep figuring it out. What about playing Carnegie Hall? It's pretty wild. I'll say it's not even the best room in the city. I've opened for Amy Schumer there. It's so iconic. It's cooler just for the history of it than the actual sound and room quality as a venue. It's one of those rooms you've heard of your whole life. The history in there, it's pretty crazy. Jimmy Carr did my podcast, and he goes, I'm doing Carnegie Hall tonight if you want to come by. And I said, if I want to come by, are you kidding? So I had to go. Not lost on the fact that it's an iconic room and it's a special place. It's kind of like banging Madonna now. It's old and not the best. You'd rather bang some young supermodel, but you got to do it. There was more of that Mark Normand article, but I'm going to save it because nothing's going to top that. Sarah Sherman is in Nashville tonight. She says, I want to do karaoke. I want to eat crazy fried chicken. I want to do everything. Everything has to be a joke. That's the power of comedy. I repulse people. I'm pushing them away, and then I bring them back with the identification point of laughter. Even if I'm experimenting with freaking people out, I've got to get them back with some laughs. It's that repulsion and attraction thing. She says, not everyone who comes to see her understands this is not Saturday Night Live. I'll do a comedy club in Wisconsin and get a family of 4 70-year-olds who are like, oh, we want to go to the comedy club this weekend and see the brunette from SNL. That'll be fun. And then they get there and they're like, what the F? This is not the nice woman from the show that we like. To mitigate this, Sarah Sherman makes her promotional material match the vibe. The poster for this tour, Sarah, is dripping with eyeballs. Squirm is made out of intestines. There's a severed finger. Sherman's eyes are hanging over her head, and part of her brain is visible. Sarah says, I don't want to spoil anything, but it gets really horrible. It's really loud and really unpleasant, but it's so fun, I promise. Like my friend's mommy ran out of my show in Portland and was puking in the parking lot. Hey, we've got a new podcast. It is called The Artist. I have done a lot of the writing on this thing. It is rated R for mature audiences only. It comes out on Monday the 15th. The trailer's now if you want to follow it and subscribe to it. It's about a serial killer, and it's messed up. Sometimes I will polish off one of the scripts and send it over to my business partner, Mark, and I'll be like, I hope he doesn't think I'm weird. The Artist, wherever you get your podcasts. Some things for you to listen to. Bill Maher had on Bill Burr maybe a month ago or so. I finally got around to it over July 4th weekend. That's a really good listen because Burr does not accept a single premise that Bill Maher puts out there. It is wonderful. They clearly get along, good chemistry, but Burr on top of his game on the Bill Maher podcast, which has a name, Club Random with Bill Maher, I think it is. And on Neil Brennan's Blocks, check out the Trevor Noah episode. Trevor's a really interesting dude and talked about his life growing up in South Africa. Very, very compelling. From Gossip Corner, if you were in Billings, Montana, and you were at Yesteryear's Antique Mall on Sunday, and you were like, is that Pete Davidson? It was. Pete Davidson was shopping at Yesteryear's Antique Mall in Billings on Sunday. On Facebook, the Yesteryear's Antique Mall posted, we had a cool visitor in the store today. Thank you, Pete Davidson, for the business and pictures. Meanwhile, a comedian, I won't spoil it yet, is upset that this person was not recognized by some Jeopardy contestants. Okay, let's take guests on Hot Ones for $2,000. The answer. On his Adult Swim show, this host destroys his set every episode, but says he's sedated in real life. I meditate, jog, I eat salad. No one got it. Who is Eric Andre? I wouldn't have gotten that either. Sorry, Eric Andre. The Lonely Island have that podcast that I want to like, but I don't, even though Andy Samberg is in the Mac Pack. What's the Mac Pack, John? That is my hypothetical list of celebrity friends. Like, when I hit the big time, this is who I'm hanging out with. It's Andy Samberg and Jeff Goldblum, Michael Chiklis, Tom Cavanaugh from The Flash and the TV show Ed from 20 years ago. That's who I'm going to roll with. That's the Mac Pack. Anyway, back in 2007, Justin Timberlake invited Mac Packer Andy Samberg to perform their song. It's got the naughty title, but I guess after Alex Bennett on Saturday, I can say Dick in a Box, and you guys won't go running. That is what the song is called. Samberg said his in-ear performers, those are the earbuds that you wear when you're performing so you can hear the track over the audience. They were loners, but at rehearsal, it was like super calm and chill. We were just in a big old empty Madison Square Garden. We come up through the middle. I can hear Justin Timberlake perfectly. We're doing all our funny choreographed moves. I'm singing, and we're like, oh, this is happening. However, for the main show, Andy says, I take one step off the platform and both my in-ears fall out. I'm like, oh no, I can't hear the beat. I'm supposed to sing first. So I'm like, I think I know where we are in the song, and I can't hear myself. And I start like 5 octaves higher than what I'm supposed to do. I know it's wrong, but I was and I'm trying to remember I'm supposed to walk on stage and meet up with them. And he sees that it's happening. He looks at me like, what? And I point to my ears like, I don't have the things. Oh, okay. So we got through the rest of it, and I never recover. And I get off, and I changed, and I come back, and the other guys from the Lonely Island were just dying laughing. Samberg swore that he sounded good at rehearsal. Some other things for you to watch if Hannah Berner and Sam Morril are not enough. On YouTube today, Francisco Ramos, Venezuela American. The description, no one does cheerful ribbing like Francisco Ramos. As you may have guessed from his special's title, Ramos was born in Venezuela but moved to the United States when he was 12. His comedy often dives into the cultural differences he notices as someone who's lived here most of his life, but is proud of the resourcefulness he gained growing up in a country where over half the population live in poverty. Hasan Minhaj put out a new digital series called Hasan Minhaj Doesn't Know. Vulture took a look at it and suggested maybe this is what Hasan's version of The Daily Show would have been like, in which case they dodged a bullet. The description for Hasan Minhaj Doesn't Know will have Hasan interviewing the biggest names in politics, culture, and tech. The debut episode, who did they pull? Who would be the best guest for a debut episode? That's right, Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, No offense, but really? Elizabeth was asked about that politician guy. I don't want to get into that on this show. Everybody's going to get mad. But she said, that man is sharp. The man knows what he's talking about. He does the job. And that is your comedy news for today. If you'd like this program commercial free, check out the link in the show notes, calaroga.com/plus, $4.99. Commercials go away. Know what I'm saying? Nudge, nudge, say no more. See you tomorrow.